According to statistics, over 90% are female. This does not mean that men aren't abused by women, because they are. But from what we know, male on female abuse is documented about 9 times as often. I see 2 kinds of women who are abused by their men, and I'd like to share this distinction because it's helpful to understanding the big picture. I call these 2 types targets and victims. For targets, being abused by their boyfriend or husband is not the norm. They grew up with good enough relationship models that an abusive relationship is an anomaly for them. Now, even though targets tend to be accomplished and high-functioning, they didn't develop a strong self-image. Because of their positive attributes, these women are often pursued by what I call master abusers, and you'll learn a little more about them later. For victims, all of their intimate relationships are abusive. Why? Because it's pretty much all they know. They grew up without healthy relationship models and without what they needed to develop a healthy self-image. Victims tend to be unaccomplished, low-functioning females. They tend to get caught up in the drama of being abused more than sorting it out. This kind of woman is repeatedly victimized by men who are also unsophisticated, unsatisfied, and low-functioning. What targets and victims have in common is inadequate self-image. And this is what sets them up to be entrapped by abusers and then to succumb to the ravages of that abuse. And women who've abused once are at greater risk of being abused again until they learn the principles at work in abusive relationships, come to terms with how they got deceived, understand why they colluded with their abuser, and take steps to remedy their self-image and other issues. You know, one way to think of these kinds of relationships is like an equation. Need to control plus inadequate self-image equals relationship violence. Next, let's take a look at the perpetrators of domestic violence.